The NFL playoff picture, the wild card weekend is what we're here to discuss. I'm here with Ashton from the Roundtable community. Say hi, Ashton. I know the camera's kind of behind you.
Hey, Angie. Hey, everybody. Hey, family.
And everything. Here's my sister, too, who's actually the nicest person in the world to let us shoot this roundtable here.
I'm good. I'm ready to talk some football.
We don't need to know her name.
Nicole,
We
by
don't
the
need
way.
to know her name. Yes,
Awesome.
the 6th seed Miami Dolphins against the 3rd seed Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a game. I'm gonna take it one game at a time with both teams. This is first of all for our roundtable audience that is familiar with the NFL. That Miami defense, Ndamukong Suh, Kiko Alonso, just those two pieces I've named have. I mean, I'll let the fans at home, shout out to our roundtable fans that have been watching, that might even be Miami Dolphins fans. This defense is something else. I don't know if the roundtable agrees, but this defense on Miami is something else.
Well, and Ndamukong Suh, he's not, as young as what he used to be. So,
I'm just making sure it doesn't drag on you.
Yeah.
I didn't get the extension. They let him go at Detroit, or he just left Detroit. He was at Detroit for 10 seasons, and I mean, like, he was looked at. He still is one of the NFL's most savage players. I mean, I think him, and then Kiko Alonso, I didn't follow him a whole lot on Buffalo, and then he was with Philly for a little while. I think Miami put some pieces together, and what was missing was a coach. Adam Gase, the offensive coordinator, I believe, at Chicago, and after he got there, they got on like a 4-game win streak, and I mean, some pieces fell in place in the AFC because the dominant team is New England Patriots, but putting them into the playoffs, and now Pittsburgh has a reason to be afraid now in the first round.
I look at Pittsburgh, Miami, and I say Pittsburgh's at home. Ben Roethlisberger's been there, and I just can't see Miami getting it done on the road.
Didn't they lose to the Cowboys?
They did, but that was a different Pittsburgh team. It really was. Every team is gelling now. You're starting to see who they are. And with Antonio Brown,
core, you got a receiving
Le'Veon
core,
Bell
yeah.
jumping out there wide out. He's back behind the line. He's everywhere. Ben Roethlisberger is going to pick that secondary apart if he gets time.
No, because it's not, you got to have offense. You got to have players that can not drop open, drop balls.
I don't think that's true, though. Seattle hasn't had a structured offense, and they've been repeat playoff appearances.
Right, but they're one and done this year.
They had a lot better running game, too. Seattle had, I don't know how that's a comparison,
True.
because you had somebody that was a beast and they could run the ball. And as soon as he retired, and as soon as that happened, they kind of was looking for somebody. Then that other running back got hurt, so the running game is really not the same.
I'm saying that Miami's defense is good enough to beat the Steelers' offense. What is the round table saying?
That Pittsburgh's offense is good enough to beat Miami's defense at home.
But didn't they already lose to them?
Again, what happens in the regular season is not the same. Miami has not been there. I don't even know, is it Tannehill, is it Matt Moore? Who's even playing? I take the quarterback.
Matt Moore.
I take the quarterback in the playoffs. And I say Ben Roethlisberger versus this quarterback in Miami, you got to give it to Ben. You just got to. Until he shows me something different.
So, okay. And so, all right. You're right.
Most people are healthy, too.
Yes.
So it was 2 years ago.
Wow.
It was 2 seasons ago. Pittsburgh played Baltimore twice in the regular season. Series sweep. Lost at home in the playoffs. I believe in the playoffs always expose it. Pittsburgh can be the team that will fall apart when we at least expect it to happen.
What I'm saying is, it's like, I'll say college and the NFL is different, but when you get to the point to where you're in the playoffs, when you get to the point to where you're in the playoffs, for me, the only thing that matters is the record starts over when you get in the playoffs.
Yes.
It is one and done. it is one and done. At win or go home.
Okay, I understand. Okay,
There's
so
a reason why there's a regular season and then it starts over. Everybody's 0-0. That's why the Giants have been 2-time Super
It's
Bowl
different.
winners in the everybody's 0-0 now.
okay, the round table believes Pittsburgh is going to win at home, and it's the right call to make. I
for real,
I believe in defense. Miami wasn't doing anything wrong the entire season. They had the kind of season that we can't find a coach. We need somebody to lead us.
But
you think they're the sweetheart of the playoffs this year then?
I'm just, you can't hate on how the defense.
They're the Cinderellas this year.
came. See, you don't respect defense. That's the problem.
No, but I'm just saying, Miami
defense-
hasn't shown me a dominant defense. I couldn't even keep them on my fantasy
Even
team.
though they're in the playoffs.
But I couldn't keep that defense on my fantasy team. They don't score enough. They didn't get enough sacks. They didn't get enough interceptions.
I'm playing Ashton, the devil's advocate.
They didn't hold their opponents to the fewest amount of points. No, that's not a defense that I'm taking to the playoffs. If I have a pick,
I'm playing the devil's advocate. I'm saying Miami Dolphins defense can dominate Big Ben. Ndamukong Suh can play in cold weather. He's built for it. He's already done it 10 seasons at Detroit.
But
it may be cold weather, and that could stand to be in Miami's favor if it's snowing and all that wind, and it's hard to throw the football. Right. Okay,
the score. What is the playoff score? What are we talking?
I would have to know the weather conditions, and I haven't looked that up. If it's snowing and wind and all that stuff, it could easily be 17-10 Pittsburgh.
But even if the weather is fair, even if the weather's fair, I just don't see Pittsburgh, I'm sorry, losing a game at home because you got all your fans around you. You have all that going.
It's black and gold everywhere.
And I just don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening with the experience they have. See, as years passed, they had a good defense. A lot of those players, they got old as years went on. Some people had to retire for whatever reason or another. So the defense.
That defense on Pittsburgh is not clutch though. We were talking about that being a low scoring, a low ranked scoring defense.
It is right, and I know that. But the reason that I think that somewhat doesn't matter, it matters about this much. Because if you have an offense that can chunk the ball and keep that ball moving on down that field, then it'll keep the defense off the field, and then you don't have to make as many errors. You don't have to have as many mistakes, any of that kind of stuff. So
and the crowd, the home crowd,
so you're making the case that that's a bend don't break defense.
Well, and they keep them moving down the field. Time of possession matters. Old school football matters if you can run the ball.
I just don't feel like it's going to be a blowout because I think the weather's going to come into play.
So Pittsburgh's not a cold weather team, is what you're saying?
They are, but at the same time, when it's hard, when the wind is going at a certain
that's
angle,
hard for both teams.
It's hard for both, and if you ever can run the ball better, which Le'Veon Bell has shown me that he can get it done.
So you're thinking 17-10?
I think 17-10. So for some reason, that's sticking in my head.
Well, you're good. You don't have to.
No. I can see a Miami. A defensively aggressive Miami beating Pittsburgh, but it still being close.
Be
20 to 14, or 20 to 17. It's very close. But that defense is what I'm saying.
I agree with you. I think they may get a pick. If they may get a pick, they may have a couple sacks, but that's why it's only 17 instead of 37. All right, that's over the
Raiders and Texans. Okay, so Raiders have now been exposed with the loss of, what is the name of the quarterback? Derek Carr. They've lost Derek Carr, who got his leg broke and twisted up. And unfortunately, because of that lopsided loss they took to Denver, they have now been knocked out of the divisional title.
That's sad for them.
Into the wild card, where they will now rematch the Houston Texans. It was a Monday night game. They played in Mexico City. They were on a mountain, basically playing football. Oxygen was an issue. It was a very, very just. The climate was taking advantage of everybody.
Right.
But this time,
I take it Oakland won.
Yes, and
See, I knew from the way he was setting it up. Oakland won. Okay.
So now Houston's at home. Now that Houston has every advantage.
He had every advantage until Tom Savage, poor guy, took a concussion. I hope he's okay.
Well, that's bad.
But I think he would have been able
See,
to close
I'm
the
not
deal.
like you offensive coordinators. Next man up.
Oh, wow.
Defense. J.J. Watt is going to be playing in this game.
Thank you. But, I mean, I agree.
He'll have
Houston's
fresh
defense
legs.
has what
Vince
got them
Wilfork,
there.
the nose tackle, ex-Patriot.
But if they can come up
Yeah.
with a game plan, like, I mean, I know if they can do some West Coast, they're from the West Coast. I think that Oakland, if the quarterback situation isn't as bad as I hope it's not, behind Carr, I think they could get it done. Now,
Houston has done a repeat. They've won their division 2 times in a row.
yes,
Well,
but
but they're
right.
But
divisions, at least in the-
I don't like how again we're disrespecting defense because this is the same Houston Texans team that got on the road up against a year ago against Cincinnati, who made the playoffs and beat them in Cincinnati 10-6. That Houston has shown that defensively they can compete.
Oakland is not going to get blown out by any means by Brock Osweiler. I feel like this is a game where whoever wins the turnover battle wins.
What kind of score are we thinking?
Oakland Raiders. I definitely will take them in that game.
Thank
they
you.
could put up, 37-14.
How much confidence do you have in Oakland again? 37-14?
I believe in the whole. I believe like in the team. You know?
What is it about Oakland? I need to know why you guys have so much faith in it. They didn't win the division. They barely made WildCard. They lost their starting QB that got them this far. But Houston won their division.
Houston won a sorry division.
They
yes.
won their
During this season,
I'm
if
in the
I had a
results
choice,
business.
okay, you looked at the
Wins
box
and
score.
losses.
I looked at the actual games. I could watch Oakland football. I really could. I could watch Carr to Crabtree and all this stuff. Seth
Wins
Roberts.
and
No.
losses.
I'm just saying what I felt when I watched those teams. I felt like Oakland has a decent team, and their defense isn't great, but it goes with their offense that could put up points.
I don't need to believe in Houston. I don't need to believe in Houston to know that Oakland just has they're broken on offense. Crabtree and Cooper, who are they getting open for?
You're saying that if they had Carr, you would pick them in this game?
We'll never know.
You still only a little bit because you still have a
Yes.
strong offensive line. You still have a strong receiving core because everybody
Yes.
is there. So
And is Latavius Murray?
So I think you have a
playing?
quarterback that can understand the playbook. The dude understands the playbook.
Jack Del Rio was the offensive coordinator, I believe, for the Jets. But
what is
with
he
opposite
working
to
with?
him, Rex Ryan, a backup quarterback that did nothing. He didn't get them to the 12-4
No,
win they
he
got.
didn't.
Houston can only I would say go so far. I think the Oakland Raiders they just have a better
team.
offense. But if you have an offensive line that can block for you, that has nothing to do with the quarterback. And once he throws that ball, that's up to the receivers and what they do with it.
I think
The
Receivers have to make plays for
and
their
they
quarterback.
can because they're pretty good after the catch.
Yeah.
If you can get them the ball, then they can do something.
But see, y'all don't respect defense. That's what
I
I'm
do,
saying.
but they can't score all the points.
Miami can't upset Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's offense is so
Anything
good.
can happen,
Houston's
but no.
defense is going to win them this game.
That
10-7 Houston.
Now
they made the decision late, like going into the playoffs. We don't
A
want
coach
you
can't
being-
change his mind. An offensive
He
coordinator
didn't.
can't change his mind.
A concussion changed his mind. The doctor said this
Hey.
dude is out.
Next man up.
I don't even give Brock Osweiler a chance to throw
He
a
won them the
touchdown pass.
division, and you still don't give him
No,
a
I
chance.
don't, because their defense, like you said, I believe in defense, and defense won that division for them.
they said,
Shout out
hey,
to Ashton's audience.
somebody
Live.
said Houston. Wow. Somebody said Houston 17-10. They're watching. Wow. Somebody said
My pick is 10-7
wow.
Houston. 10-7 Houston.
Saying
I take Oakland In this one, I'm just gonna say 17-16. Yeah, it's close.
But that could actually happen.
That could
though.
happen too.
I see a playoff game like
That-
happening with Houston and
yeah.
Oakland that's that close. No overtime.
No overtime, but
No overtime.
17-16.
All right.
You
Okay.
know,
Well. All right,
we don't
well,
like-
Well, shout out to the Facebook Live
Definitely
audience.
shout out.
Shout out.
We've already chosen the AFC wildcard score. Or well, you've heard all our scores.
Scores, right.
Just a quick overview. I say Miami Dolphins. 2017 over Pittsburgh Steelers. Ashton,
that's
what do you
tough.
say?
I got Pittsburgh in that game. I'm going to say 21-7.
What is?
I had 17-10 Pittsburgh.
And then Oakland Raiders. Ashton, I believe you said 37-14. Just want to confirm
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying 10-7 Houston. Sister.
I said 17-16. It's ugly, but somehow Oakland gets it
17-16.
done.
Okay, so 17-16 Oakland. So we got 2 picks for Oakland, 1 for Houston, 1 pick for Miami. It's like I'm just the underdog today.